What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and we have a fun video today because this weekend was Blade Show and Blade Show Atlanta. So I got some really neato stuff, and I'm kind of excited about it. So I'm going to show you what we got. Just real quick, we're probably going to do some deeper dives on some of this stuff later on. We went both days. I went Friday and Saturday. I took a friend of mine on Friday, and I took Leslie on Saturday. So super cool. So got something for her, got something for Brianna, got some stuff for the house, for all of us, and I got some stuff for me. So let me show you what we got. First of all, what we got for Brianna. In fact, I got two of these. I just saw on Thursday of last week they released these little Demco Armager bottle openers, and Brianna had just brought a knife home from work with a bent tip, and I was like, you need to not pry with your knife, because we all get in the habit of doing it. It wasn't an expensive knife, it was a little sand cut thing, but I was like, you know what you need a pry bar that is a bottle opener. And that day this had come out, so I went to Demco and picked this little dude up. It's kind of neat. It's just a little bottle opener. It's funny, it's got a little choil on it right there. Looks like a blade, but it's not. And yeah, little pry bar. Super cool. Little knife handle. Comes in a cool little, like a neck knife kind of little sheath thing, which is kind of fun. And I think Brianna said she clips it onto something she's got at the bar there where she works. And it'll do what she needs it to do. Pretty cool. Little dude. I like that thing a lot. And then let's see what else we got here. And then on Saturday, I picked up one of these things for Leslie. So actually, I didn't even see this. We're at E-Knives talking to our friends there that own there, and we were just chatting. I was just talking to Coco actually, and Leslie says, "Hey, I spotted a thing." She uses a utility knife quite often, and she's like, wouldn't it be nice is if you're opening a package or you're doing something and you can have a one-handed action for that. And of course they have the $250 OTF versions of these by Chavez and such, but this was not that expensive. This is the Riot Xou, and of course all of her knives are purple with black blades. And so there you go. There's a little safety right there so that it can't fall open in your pocket or whatever, and little magnets that make it actuate. And so it's just a little. Now I don't know if this is legal where you live, but it is where we live, and it's kind of cool. And then the way the blade comes out is this little springy dude right here. Basically, you just push up on this, and then the blade pops out. And we just ordered some black, because she likes black blades. I'm like, well, let's just have some black utility knife blades around. So there you go. So the Riot Xou, you can get these at eknives.com. Super cool. And then for the house, some culinary stuff. So if you guys remember, maybe 2 years ago, I think, we went to Bradford USA at Blade Show and didn't even realize that they made kitchen knives. So we have their 7-inch chef's knife. We have their little, I think it's like a 4 or 5-inch little utility knife, and they all have this same blade handle color, or handle color. My other two knives from them actually have a blue PVD blade, but they don't do that. But it's like a special edition thing. They just came out this year with their 6-inch utility, 10 thousandths of an inch thickness, and behind the edge, and just absolutely thin AEBL. Now I've had my AEBL Bradford kitchen knives for 2 years, like I said, and I think I've only ever touched them up twice. They are fantastic. Super light, super thin, super easy to use, very reasonable price also for these knives, so check them out. Bradford USA. I don't remember if it's bradfordknives.com or bradfordusa.com. I'll leave the the link in the description. But we're going to do a full review on this knife. I'm going to talk about it because there's some things about it that are kind of special and specific. The reason I bought this particular set is because, and I'm adding to it, are for very specific reasons in relation to some other knives that I have and why I really like it. So we're going to do a full video on just this knife. And well, and all the Bradford kitchen stuff. But this is going to be the idea behind it, is to talk about this one. Really, really, really cool thing. I really like it a lot. Next, I want to talk about a small custom maker from Maine, actually. And this is called Blackfly Customs. And this is really impressive stuff. You know, you can go through the maker section of the Blade Show and you can see a lot of things. And there's a lot of very similar things, right? And no lie, there's a lot of similar things to this. But what really set this out to me, well, I got to have a conversation with them after hours. And of course, when you get to know somebody, that always helps, right? And get to hear their story. You know, he had a full-time job doing something else in another profession, started making knives, and now he's doing it full-time, which is, you know, of course, with what I do for a living, I think that's very inspiring. But what I want to talk about is these custom knives and the finishing. Okay, so he makes all of these sheaths by hand. Every model of the sheath, there's a few things that are interesting. They're stitched in such a way, see how this is spread out so that the belt loop is stitched. They're all engraved with the brand and with the model of knife. And there's no metal, so there's no rivet. Like a lot of times there will be, for the belt loop, there will be a rivet here, which means it will put metal on the inside of the sheath. So there's no metal on the inside of the sheath to interfere with this little Nitro V little dude. Little 2-finger knife, just a little utility. I like it a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this as a pocket dropper. I'm just going to put it in my pocket just like that and have that as a little utility carry blade, right? The spine is nice and finished. The JG10 here, he had a bunch of different colors, and I'll leave a link to his website because he's got some really neat stuff. So this is all done by hand. So I'll show you another. I bought 2 knives from him, so I'll show you the other one. Absolutely incredible knife. So let me show you the other one, because this is where it really gets into the art for me, for him. So this is a big knife. This is the Blackfly Customs Gator, and as you'll see, it's probably a Tonto. And this is 52-100 carbon steel that has been acid etched and then finished. And if you'll look here, you'll see, you can tell that the bevels, that the grind here, compound Tonto, has all been absolutely done by hand. From the cutting out of the shape, from the all the bevels to the secondary bevel, the primary bevel here, this bevel, all of this, everything's done by hand. But what I like about it is everything is finished. So the entire back of the blade has been finished. Sometimes when you see a maker knife, the front of the handle right here might not be finished quite good. But this one is. This is polished micarta, but it's got some texture kind of left to it, which is really cool. It's like a really coarse burlap micarta that has been textured, so it's not smooth all the way like glass, but it's got some texture to it. I really like it. I love the way it feels. I used it last night because we have bulk trash day, so I had to cut up a bunch of cardboard and a bunch of trash, and I used it last night, and it absolutely just did the job. The edge is fantastic. He sands everything, or he sharpens everything by hand and then strops everything. The finish work is just phenomenal. And again, this sheath, while the sheath is a little bulky, it's very good. I believe he hot waxes everything. So this is This is hard, even though it's leather. So the retention is positive. Like there's just some details about this that I really like. So we'll probably do a full video on these two knives as well. Super cool. I'll leave a link to them as well. Blackfly Customs, Gator. Got a little Gator engraved right there too. Pretty neat. Let's get into the Protek stuff, because I always buy a bunch of Proteks when I go to Blade Show, and I bought 3 this time. This is the Malibu in Battle Worn Red Dragon scale. It's got a black lip pearl button, acid watch, Magna Cut reverse Tonto, and this is number 30 of 215. So I actually already have another one of these, but it's black handle, diamond pattern handle with a blue sapphire PVD blade, or DLC or PVD, however they do it, blade. But I carry it, but it's part of a whole collection of black handle blue blade Proteks that I have, and I like to take good care of it. You know, I use it, but I like to take good care of it. I make sure that it's in the pocket by itself. You know, I just want to take care of it because it's a special knife to me. This one I bought, even though it is one of 215, and he told me that they will never do this color again on this pattern, this combination. He said, we're never going to do it again. And I'm like, well, I need to get one. So this is going to kind of be, not necessarily my beater, because I don't beat my stuff, but this is going to be a knife that, it doesn't matter if there's change in the pocket with it. It doesn't matter if there's, you know what I mean? This knife is going to be used, and already has been used. This is what is in my pocket today. In fact, it will, as soon as I'm done shooting this segment, it's going to go back in my pocket. I absolutely love it. Magna Cut blade, obviously, you know, it's a Protek. The action, if you've never had one of their manual knives, absolutely incredible. Incredible knife. It's super cool, and I love the way it feels. I love the battle worn finish, because I love the way the battle worn feels. Super neat. Absolutely super neat knife. Really like it a lot. That's not the only Protek I bought. I bought 3. This is a TR3 Integrity. So I've got a normal TR3, which is an automatic. Now you'll see that this has got a thumb stud. So this is the TR3 Integrity, which is a manual button lock knife. And the action is absolutely amazing. This is gray battle worn relic, although it's not, because of the gray, you can't really tell that it's as beat up as the other knife, just because of the color. Sapphire blue, which, you know, of course I have that whole collection of sapphire blue stuff, like I just mentioned. S35 VN blade, double thumb studs, abalone button, and this is number 66 of 120. And this pattern is super neat. I like it. I like the contrast of the two colors. I like the contrast of the button. And more importantly, they're manual knives, because I've got, you know, I don't know, I've got 20 Proteks now or something. So I have a bunch of automatics, but I have always wanted, since they came out very recently, last year or whatever, a TR3 Integrity, which is the manual version of the TR3. And I just wanted something a little more special than the normal black handle, gray blade, you know, stonewash blade that they've got. I think they've got a blue handle one with a stonewash blade for a couple $100, whatever. But I wanted something kind of a little more special. And so when I saw that they had this one and it was pretty rare, I thought, you know, that's pretty neat. And of course, they're all engraved somewhere. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This one's engraved on the blade. So, Blade Show 2025, 66 of 120. I think the last knife I showed you is engraved right here. Right there with the serial number. So, numbered edition. So that's pretty neat. I've got a bunch of these Blade Show exclusive things. And yeah, a cool addition to the collection. I really like it a lot. I carried it yesterday. Really nice knife. Really nice knife, and it just feels good. I love it. Anyway, I could go on about it. Absolutely love it. If you don't have a Protek in your collection, manual or automatic, depending on where you live, you have to have one. There's nothing like a Protek. Nothing like it. When I bought my first one 4 or 5 years ago, the guy's like, it's not going to be your last. And like I said, I probably have 20 of them now. Absolutely love them. All right. Now, this is probably the knife for me of the entire show. I did not really go to Blade Show. I told Leslie, I was like, I'm not going to Blade Show with much of an agenda. I want to just go and see what pops up. Except for one thing. With all the Protek collection that I have, there's a couple knives and a couple of features of knives from Protek that I've never had. And this is one of them. This is the gray aluminum handle, techno carbon, so this is copper and carbon fiber mixed together in the insert. And this is a Cambria from the custom shop. Now the thing about the Cambria is a lot of people think of the Protek Malibu, the pink knife that I just showed you, as the thing that started it all. But this knife is actually the original, quote-unquote original, manual, non-automatic button lock knife that Protek made. This is number 60 of 80. And the real... this thing's pretty cool. So what I was really looking for was that. I did not have a polished blade from Protek. So this is a hand ground and then hand polished by Mike Erie. In fact, he was standing right behind me when I bought this knife. A hand ground and hand polished by Mike Erie Cambria button lock, number 60 of 80. And I've always wanted a Mike Erie ground blade, and I've never had one. And so this is kind of the star of the show for me for Blade Show. I would say the star of the show is, well, they're all awesome, but I would say this, and then that big Blackfly Customs knife, and the kitchen knife are probably my top three. But this thing is unbelievable. I will carry this. This will not be a safe queen. As long as you don't cut anything that's harder than the blade won't scratch. You know, so just use it responsibly, and it'll be good. It does fingerprint. I did have to wipe it down before this because it does fingerprint pretty bad, but super cool. So anyway, that right there. Whew, I love that thing. Man, that thing is awesome. So there you go. Some Protek stuff, some Bradford stuff, some Blackfly Customs stuff, and a Riot Xou, and a little Demco bottle opener. That's my haul from Blade Show. If you have any questions, hit me up, and we'll see you in the next video. Do me a favor, like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Let me know if there's any of these knives in particular that you want me to dive into more deeply, or anything that you've seen that makes you see any of our collection, or even our fountain pen collection, or anything else on the channel that makes you ask a question. Get it in the comments, and I'd be happy to dive deeper into any of that stuff. So there you go. Thanks for hanging out. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.